morning students. Welcome back to the online English literature class. Today I am going to teach you the fifth lesson of your literature book, that is Perseus and the Gorgon. Now this story is based on Greek mythology. It is a story that tells us how Perseus becomes a hero. Now in this story there are many characters. So first I am going to introduce you to all characters so that you understand the story better. First of all, Perseus. Perseus is the hero of the story. His father name is Zeus and his mother name is Danae. When Perseus was small, he and his mother was sent to the island of Seriphos, where they were rescued by a kind man whose name was Dictys. He had a brother whose name was Polydectes. He was very cruel and evil ruler of Seriphos. Then we have some god and goddess: Zeus, Hermes, Athena. Then we have some strange grey witches. Why they are strange? They are strange women because they shared one eye. Then there are nymphs, who is the goddess of nature. Then there is Medusa, who is a gorgon. Now what is a gorgon? Gorgon means a monstrous creature or a frightening creature. And then there is Andromeda. Andromeda is a young woman tied to the rock in the sea. Now let's proceed to the story. Perseus and the Gorgon. In the northern skies, if you look up on a clear night, you can see a constellation of stars called Perseus. Now what is a constellation? A constellation means a group of stars forming a pattern that is named after what it looks like, or a mythological figure. So in the northern skies, if you look up on a clear night, you can see a constellation which was called Perseus. The constellation is named after a Greek hero who was half man and half god. So Perseus was half man and half god. His father was god Zeus. The father of Perseus was a god. His name was Zeus, and his mother was the beautiful human Danae. So when he was a baby, Perseus and his mother were sent away to an island called Seriphos. A kind man called Dictys took them in and looked after them. Dictys' brother Polydectes was the king of the island. Polydectes was a cruel and evil tyrant. Tyrant means a cruel ruler. So I told you Perseus was half god and half man. Why? Because his father was a god whose name was Zeus, and his mother was a beautiful human whose name was Danae. And when he was a baby, Perseus and his mother were sent to an island. The name of the island was Seriphos, and on the island lived a kind man whose name was Dictys, and there was also the brother of Dictys whose name was Polydectes, who lived on that island. But Polydectes was a cruel and an evil ruler of that island of Seriphos. Perseus grew up into a strong young man. He worked hard on the land and was very protective of his mother. So Perseus grew up on that island and he grew up into a strong young man, and he used to work very hard and look after his mother Danae. One day, the mean king saw Perseus' mother and decided that he wanted to marry her. So one day what happened? The king, who was the king, Polydectes, he saw Perseus' mother, that is Danae, and he decided that he wanted to marry Danae. He kept trying to meet Danae, but Perseus did not like or trust the king, so he used his cunning to keep the king away in order to protect his mother. Now, the evil ruler Polydectes wanted to marry Perseus's mother. Who was the mother? Danae. But Perseus did not like or trust the king, so he used his clever tricks to keep the king away from his mother. The king became angry because he was used to getting whatever he wanted. Now he was a king of the island and he used to get whatever he wished. But he was getting angry because Perseus, with his clever tricks, always kept the king away from his mother. How can I get rid of this irritating man? Thought Polydectes. So now Polydectes was getting angry and he thought that how can this man leave Danae so that I can successfully marry Danae. He plotted to send Perseus away in disgrace so that he would never return to Seriphos. Now since he wanted to marry Danae and Perseus was not letting that happen, so the king was getting very angry, so he made an evil plan and he decided to send Perseus away in disgrace. Disgrace means loss of respect from the island. He wanted to send Perseus away from the island Seriphos. Perseus knew that he had angered Polydectes, so he was surprised to get an invitation to a banquet. Now, one day Perseus gets an invitation to a banquet. Now, what is a banquet? Banquet is a special meal for lots of people. The invitation made it clear that the king expected everyone to bring him a horse as a present. Now, Polydectes invited Perseus to a banquet, and in the invitation he wrote that every person who would come to the banquet would bring a horse as a gift for the king, for Polydectes. Perseus did not have a horse and he could not afford to buy one. Now Perseus was poor, he did not have a horse and he did not even have the money to buy a horse for the king. So he thought, what shall I do? He wondered. It would be disrespectful to refuse the invitation, so he would have to go to the banquet without a gift. He hoped that the king would be understanding. Now, Perseus was poor, he did not even have the money to buy a horse for the king, but he also thought that it would be very disrespectful if he didn't go to the banquet, if he refused the invitation and didn't go to the banquet. So he thought that he will go to the banquet without a gift, and he hoped that the king would be understanding, that the king would understand his situation. When Perseus arrived at the banquet, he realized that the king was not going to let him off. Everyone was lined up one by one. They gave their gifts to the king. When it came to Perseus' turn, the king spoke loudly. "Ha, Perseus, where have you hidden the horse you have got for me?" Now everyone was one by one going to gift a horse to the king. But when it was Perseus' turn, what did the king say? The king spoke loudly that, "Perseus, where have you hidden the horse that you have got for me?" But did Perseus really get a horse for him? No, he did not get. Why? Because he couldn't even afford, he did not even have the money to buy the horse for the king. The other guests laughed along with the king. "Oh, Perseus, don't you know our customs?" one said. Now, when Polydectes loudly says that, "Perseus, where is the horse?" everyone started laughing because everyone knew that Perseus did not get a horse for the king. So one of the people present at that time said that, "Perseus, you don't know about our traditions." Perseus felt embarrassed. Embarrassed means he felt very uncomfortable and shy. Everyone in the great hall was looking at him. Without thinking about the consequences, he made a rash promise. Now he was embarrassed and he was a little angry. So without thinking much, he just made one promise to the king. And what was the promise? "King Polydectes, I have no gift for you today, but I promise that I will bring you another gift. Whatever you like, just name it and I will bring it. So Perseus says that today I have no gift for you, but I promise you that whatever you will ask me now, I will bring that to you. So the king looked delighted. The king was very happy. He knew he could use this opportunity to get rid of Perseus. He knew that he could use this situation to send this Perseus away from the island. He said, "That is kind, Perseus. I know exactly what I want." He smiled menacingly. Menacingly means in a very evil manner. He smiled in a very evil manner. "Bring me the head of Medusa." So what did the king demanded? The king told Perseus to bring him the head of Medusa. Now who was Medusa? Everyone gasped. Perseus nodded and bowed. Perseus accepted and he said, "Okay, I will bring you the head of Medusa." Now Medusa, Medusa was a monstrous creature. Medusa was a frightening creature. Perseus agreed to bring the head and says, "It shall be done." He tried hard to keep his face from showing how worried it felt, even though he agreed to bring the head of Medusa for the king, but he was very worried. The whole kingdom lived in fear of Medusa and her sisters. They were Gorgons. Who were Medusa? Medusa and her sisters were Gorgons. Gorgons means monstrous creature, frightening creature. Monstrous, terrifying creatures who lived in a cave and preyed on anyone who came near them. So Medusa and her sisters used to live in a cave, and anyone who came near them, they would attack them. Instead of hair, they had snakes growing out of their heads. Now Medusa did not have hair. Medusa, instead of hair, the snakes were growing out of their heads. Unlike her sisters, Medusa was mortal and could, in theory, be killed. Now, Medusa was mortal. Mortal means she could have been killed. A person that cannot live forever. So, according to the theory, Medusa was a mortal and she could be killed. In reality, no one had ever come close to be able to defeat her. No one even dared to defeat Medusa. In reality, anyone who looked directly at Medusa's face was instantly turned to stone. And how would a young man be able to defeat her? So anybody who looked directly in the face of Medusa was turned to a stone. So it was impossible for anyone, for a young man, to defeat Medusa. The next day, before he set off, Perseus spoke to his mother. "Don't go," she begged him. Now, before leaving to get the head of Medusa, Perseus spoke to his mother Danae, and Danae insists and says that don't go. She begged, literally begged Perseus to not go. "I must go," said Perseus. "It is the only way to be free from Polydectes." So Perseus says that I should go. This is the only way that the king would forgive me. We will be free from the evil king, that is Polydectes. Danae wished Perseus luck and watched him leave. She prayed to the gods to keep him safe from harm. High up in the sky, the gods were watching. Now all this incident was going on and Danae prayed for his son. Danae prayed to the gods to keep his son safe. So the gods in the sky were watching all this. They wanted to help Perseus and appeared in front of him. Now the gods wanted to help him, so they appeared in front of him. Zeus gave him a special sword and a helmet that would make him invisible. Now sword, sword is a talwar. So Zeus gave him a special sword to cut Medusa's head, and he also gave him a helmet that would make him invisible. Invisible means unable to be seen. Hermes, another god. Hermes is the Greek god. Hermes was the another son of Zeus. Hermes lent Perseus a pair of winged sandals so that he could fly. Hermes, what did Hermes give Perseus? Sandals that had wings so that Perseus could fly. Athena, another Greek goddess of wisdom and war, Athena also came and she gave him a polished shield. A shield. She gave him a shield. Perseus was grateful. Thank you, he said. I will do my best to be worthy of your gifts. Perseus thanks the gods and says that I will be worthy. I hope, I wish that I will do my best to be worthy of your gifts so that I can use your gifts in a good manner. Use your brain as well as your strength, Perseus warned Athena. What did Athena want? Athena says that along with your brain, along with the strengths that you have, use your brain as well. You will need a special bag to carry Medusa's head. Now Athena says that you will need a bag to carry Medusa's head. Where will I get this bag? Perseus asks, where will I get this bag? Go to the northern shore, said Athena. There you will find the ancient grey witches. Make them tell you how to find the nymphs who look after the garden of the goddess Hera. Be cunning as well as brave. Now when Perseus asked them that where will I get the bag where I can keep the head of Medusa, so Athena tells him that go to the northern shore. In the northern shore you will find grey witches. Witches, you know, you will find grey witches and ask those witches to help you find nymphs. Now who is a nymph? I told you, nymph is the young goddess of nature who look after the garden of goddess Hera. So Perseus would get the bag from the nymphs. Perseus made his way to the northern shore. When he came near to the cave of the ancient wishes, he crouched behind some large rocks. Crouch means he bent down behind some large rocks. Never had he seen such a hideous sight. Hideous means he never saw such ugly sight. The witches wore filthy, tattered and grey robes which looked so much like their wrinkled grey skin that it was hard to make out their features. Now the witches, you can see in this image, witches, these were the witches and they looked so dirty. They wore so dirty robes. Robes is a long loose piece of clothing and even their clothes were torn and they had wrinkled skin and grey hair and it was hard to make out their features. It was very hard to make out their features. Perseus almost gagged. Gagged means he choked when he noticed that these three witches shared one eyeball. They had one eyeball in their hand with which all the three witches used to see. They had only one eye and they used to share that eye. As the witches moved around the area, they passed the eyeball to each other with their claw-like wrinkled hands. Perseus crept closer. Perseus moved closer. I hear someone coming, said one witch. Now witches could not see. They had just one eye and they passed the eye to each other to see. So one of the witches, when Perseus moved closer, one of the witches says that I hear someone coming. Her sister grabbed the eye. I can't see anything. Then her sister, one of the sisters of the witches grabbed the eye and said that I cannot see anyone. Give it to me, screeched the other one. Screeched means one witch said to another witch in an unpleasant, loud, high-pitched tone. Just then, as the second sister was handling over the eye, Perseus lunged forward and grabbed it from her. Now just then when the second sister was handing over the eye to another sister, another witch, Perseus quickly moved forward and took the eye from her. The witches were confused. Now who had the eye? Perseus had the eye, so the witches could not see. So the witches were confused. What can you see? Demanded the first witch. Who has the eye? Give it to me, croaked the third witch. You have it, you fool, hissed the second witch. Now the witches started having an argument among each other that who has the eye. So Perseus then spoke loudly. I have your eye. You can have it back in return for what I need. The witches wailed and pleaded. Now the witches, they cried and they requested. Give us back our eye. Tell us what you want. Now the witches, they started crying because the eye was taken away by Perseus. So witches say that tell us what you want and I will give your eye back. Witches say give me the eye, give us the eye and tell me what you want, I will tell you whatever you ask me. Take me to the nymphs of Hera, demanded Perseus. So what does Perseus demand? Perseus asked the witches to take him to the nymphs of Hera. The witches knew they had no choice. They led him to the west and delivered him to Hera's garden. Perseus returned their eye to them. Now witches knew that they had no choice. Now the witches knew that they did not have any choice. If the witches did not tell where the goddess of Hera is, then Perseus would not return their eye back. So they told him that where will he find Hera's garden? In the west. So the witches took Perseus and delivered him to Hera's garden. Perseus returned their eye to them. So when the witches helped Perseus, Perseus returned back their eye. The nymphs were very happy to help Perseus. Now nymphs, who were the nymphs? Young goddesses of nature. They were very happy to help Perseus. They gave him a silver knapsack to safely contain Medusa's head. Silver knapsack, you know what is a silver knapsack? A small bag with straps that is carried on the back or on the shoulders. So the nymphs gave him a silver knapsack, a bag, to safely contain Medusa's head. Perseus set off again, ready to tackle the Gorgon, ready to defeat or fight with the Gorgon. Long before he got to the entrance to the Gorgon's cave, Perseus knew he was in the right place. No creatures came near the place, so there was no noise except the sound of his footsteps in creepy silence. So when he entered the cave, it was so quiet. He could not hear a single noise except the sound of his own footsteps. The petrified remains of men in frozen poses of terror were all around him. All around him, what did he see? He saw frightened remains of men frozen. Okay, frozen why? Because I told you whoever looked straight in the face of Medusa would turn into stone. So whoever men previously came to defeat Medusa, they were turned into stones and they were all in frightened postures. They were all frozen and around the cave. So Perseus sees all these men in the cave. Perseus crept as quietly as possible through the forest of statues, making his way to the mouth of the cave. He put on his helmet and slowly walked in. Now Perseus put on his helmet. Which helmet? That would make him invisible. And then he slowly walks into the cave towards Medusa. Using his polished shield as a mirror to find his way through the cave. Now he also got you remember Athena gave him a shield. So he used that polished shield as a mirror. He used to see in the polished shield to find where Medusa is, because he knew that if he looked right in the face of Medusa, he would turn into stone. So he used the polished shield as a mirror to look for Medusa. Perseus almost gasped out loud at the reflection in the shield of Medusa's hideous face. Hideous means he was frightened. He saw in the polished shield the reflection of Medusa's ugly face. He took a slow, deep breath to calm himself, raised his sword, and with one swift blow, he chopped off the monster's head. So what did he do? He took out his sword and he saw Medusa's head in the field, and then he turned back and chopped off Medusa's head. Quickly, without looking at it, he scooped the head into a knapsack and set off. Now, without looking at the head, he quickly put the head in the knapsack, in the bag that Hera gave him, the nymphs gave him, and he set off. Medusa's sister had woken up, and they ran out of the cave just behind Perseus. Now, Medusa's sisters also, they were sleeping and they suddenly woke up and they ran out of the cave towards Perseus. They could not see him, but they could follow the scent of their sister and the trail of blood. Now, they could not see Perseus. Why? Because Perseus wore a helmet that made him invisible. But the sisters, how did the sisters follow? How did the sisters know that Perseus was going that way? Because the sisters follow the scent, the smell of Medusa and the trail, the mark of the blood that was there. Although they were quick, once they were out of the cave, they could not find Perseus. They were quick enough to move out, the sisters, Medusa's sisters, but when they moved out of the cave, they could not follow Perseus. Why? Because he also got a sandal from Hermes that had wings. Remember? Perseus flew away on his winged sandals and left them far behind. This was not the end of Perseus's adventure. On the way home, as he flew along the coast, he saw a young woman tied to a rock in the sea. He flew down to free her. Now, this was not the end of his adventure. When he was traveling home, he saw along the coast, he saw a woman who was tied to a rock in the sea. Okay, and he flew down, Perseus flew down to free her, to protect that woman. Who was the woman? Andromeda. No, you must leave me. I am Andromeda and I must be sacrificed to the sea serpent in order to stop him from attacking our people. So when Perseus flew down to protect that woman insists asks Perseus to leave her alone. She says that I am Andromeda and I must be sacrificed to the sea serpent. Sea serpent means to the sea snake, sea monster, in order to stop him from attacking our people. So she was sacrificing her own life to protect her people. Perseus admired her bravery. Perseus respected her courage, but he did not want to see her killed. I will fight the monster and save you. So Perseus promised Andromeda that he will not let the monster kill Andromeda. Instead, Perseus will himself kill the monster and save Andromeda as well as her people. Be careful, brave one, said Andromeda. The sea serpent was ferocious and fought hard. So the sea monster, he was also ferocious. He was very strong and powerful. Perseus flew in and out of his coils and sliced at it with Zeus's sword. Now a sword, a sword was given to Perseus by his father Zeus. So with the help of this sword, Perseus also killed the sea serpent, the sea monster. The battle lasted a long time until eventually the sea was red with serpent's blood. Now when he killed the sea monster, the whole sea was red, turned red in color because of the serpent's blood. Come with me, said Perseus to Andromeda, and she agreed. Now Perseus told Andromeda to join him, and Andromeda agreed. Back in Seriphos, King Polydectes was holding another banquet when Perseus strode through the door. I have your gift, he announced. Now when he returned back to the island, he saw that King Polydectes was holding yet another banquet, and Perseus quickly, confidently entered through the door and says to the king that I have the gift. You wanted me to bring the head of Medusa? I have the head of Medusa. The king laughed disbelievingly. Now the king did not believe and he laughed. Show me, he commanded. The king said, show me. Perseus closed his eyes tightly and pulled Medusa's head from the bag. The king and everyone in his court were instantly turned into stone. So what happened when the king commanded to show him Medusa's head? Perseus closed his eye tightly and took out the head from the bag and showed it to the king. So when the king looked at Medusa's head and the other members of the court looked at Medusa's head, all the people along with the king was turned into stone. From then on, Seriphos was ruled by kind Dictys. Now all of them were turned into stone. So from that day onwards, who ruled Seriphos? Dictys, the brother of Polydictys, who was a kind man. So Dictys started to rule Seriphos. Danae was happy to see Perseus home safely. The Perseus' mother was happy to see that Perseus has returned home safely, and everyone celebrated when Perseus and Andromeda were married. And in the end, what happened? Who got married? Perseus and Andromeda. They both got married. Okay children, I hope this story is clear to you. We will meet in the next class with yet another interesting story. Thank you.